So I am really excited to talk about Jordan Peele's new film, Nope. I'm gonna start this video with a little bit of a review of the film and basically what I thought about it, what I liked about it, and then I'm gonna go into a little bit of the symbolism and some things that stood out to me on the second viewing that I didn't quite catch on the first time I watched it. Some things I really loved about the movie is one, the nighttime cinematography was awesome. I haven't seen shots this beautiful like ever in different films as far as nighttime cinematography. The cinematography that Jordan Peele and his cinematographer pulled off for this film were phenomenal. The cinematography in general was really pretty cinematography and captured the scope of this spectacle. Um, I thought the film was visually stunning, visually beautiful to look at, thrilling and haunting at times. But as a filmmaker myself, I was able to watch this movie and just was in awe of the cinematography, particularly that nighttime cinematography. Second thing I loved about this movie was Kiki Palmer. She does a great job of balancing these comedic aspects of the film with the thrilling aspects of the movie. Um, Sometimes movies they have trouble balancing those two different types of genre, but this movie does a really good job of that. Thirdly, I would talk about the mystery aspect of this movie and the screenplay. I thought the screenplay was really well laid out and unraveled these different parts of the story in a very interesting and intriguing way. And lastly, the music score was great for this movie. Jordan Peele does a great job directing the film, and Michael Abels does a great job doing the music score for Jordan Peele's movies. I hope he does every Jordan Peele movie from here on out. He's done the first three, always a great job, and I really hope he continues working with him on different projects. All right, so let's talk about the alien, the main spectacle of this movie is this alien um creature type spaceship looking creature. What is it a symbol for? That's a question I had trouble figuring out the first time I saw the movie. I had a few different ideas, and seeing it a second time helped me gain a better understanding of what that alien resembled. At the very beginning of the movie, we have a scene where OJ is training these horses on a film set, and then he gets basically kind of kicked off that set or kind of fired in a way because they don't really appreciate his expertise on being a trainer. They don't take him very seriously when he says that him and the horse need a break, or like the horse needs a break before they go into a next scene. The crew members are just like, no, we're gonna continue filming because the actress is ready and all that stuff. This is a symbol for how it can be like on in the film industry, and I've seen some reviews actually relate this to kind of a like a capitalist culture as a whole. As someone who has worked on different film sets, I saw how Jordan Peele was trying to convey this film industry aspect and kind of how it's like for a lot of crew members on a set. They're kind of underappreciated. This alien is kind of like that. It takes people in. It basically sucks them up and then just kind of spits out their remains. Kind of like the saying, being chewed up and spit out. Basically, same thing with the alien and how the alien is the symbol for Hollywood and the film industry. The next symbol I want to talk about is the story of Ricky and Gordy that we see throughout the story come up. This part of the story, I feel like marks or is a symbol for exploitation. Kind of how the alien is the symbol of how OJ is being kind of not appreciated on a film set. This is very similar to Gordy as well. Um, Gordy is a monkey, and he's actually kind of exploited on this movie. He's basically exploited on this movie set, and used again for profit to overturn and make more profits off of an animal who isn't in his natural habitat and is kind of made of as a joke for people's entertainment. And that's basically very similar with the what I just spoke about with the alien and how it basically takes crew members in and kind of mistreats them at times. Now, with Gordy and Ricky, they actually see each other in the scene where Gordy goes very violent, and he actually doesn't kill Ricky. And what you'll notice when I saw it a second time is that um, in the scene prior to this, where um, Gordy goes off and starts killing everybody, Ricky is kind of laughed at. His character is kind of laughed at and not as not as he's seen as not as smart as the other characters, if that makes sense, because he's laughed at for the birthday gift that he gives Gordy, and meanwhile everyone else is just laughing and kind of laughing and making a joke about it. And I feel like this is because Gordy can relate to Ricky in some way. He sees him as being kind of relatable. And also, another thing is that Ricky is a child at the time. And in some ways, you could see that Ricky is kind of being, exploited as a child, being on this film set, and he's also young, too young to possibly recognize how Gordy is exploited as an animal on the film set. And that's just a couple different ways you could kind of look at this perspective, is that Ricky and Gordy can kind of, or Gordy can kind of understand Ricky and give him the chance to live on while he kills everyone else who's kind of realizes what they're doing, because they're all mostly crew members, and they're there in order to make this movie and generate this profit off of this spectacle or this monkey. Now, a Bible quote that shows up in the beginning of this movie is it goes, "I will cast abominable filth at you, and then make you vile and make you a spectacle." This relates to how these different crew members, as well as that animal, Gordy, is treated badly in order to create profit. It's basically saying, I will treat you awfully and then make you a spectacle, basically make you into this grand film or this grand piece of cinema, this grand work, or, I'll use you in order to generate this huge profit or to create this big spectacle. That's a way to look at this kind of as a whole, is how this industry is a vehicle for these different people to make money off of animals and make money off of mistreating people. Lastly, let's talk about the spectacle itself. So the spectacle is seen as the alien throughout the movie. You could also see Gordy as a spectacle because he's this monkey that acts and is in television. Ricky uses this tragedy or this spectacle of this violent death as a way to become rich. He basically charges people to come look at this memorabilia, including the shoe of the woman that died in on the TV show. So he uses the spectacle as a chance of opportunity or a chance to make money, even though it's based on tragedy. Just kind of like how OJ sees the spectacle as a way to become rich. even though it causes him danger, he's so desperate for money that he's willing to put himself in danger in order to get this spectacle captured because he knows that society as a whole is going to want to see this spectacle, see these pictures of the spaceship, just like how people will want to see this TV show about Gordy the monkey, even though it's really causing this monkey harm and he's really not, he's not really enjoying being on this movie set. He's being laughed at. He's not in his natural habitat. He's an animal. He's being exploited. Yet people are still gonna watch it. And that's why OJ and the story of Gordy connects. Lastly, there's also this theme of being obsessed with the spectacle. This is kind of shown as Hollywood as a whole. And basically, what we see here is some people are really willing to risk their lives in order to get that impossible shot, in order to get this spectacle caught on camera. They're willing to go to great lengths to do that. They will put themselves in danger, sometimes even throw filth onto others and treat others poorly in order to capture spectacle, or, in other words, in order to become rich and find great profit and great wealth.